Hey guys, it's Commander Video here. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing Trump versus Komern, who is an illegal immigrant. So let's get into this. So we'll start obviously in California, where Komern obviously is easily going to win California. You know, that's where most of the illegal immigrants live in this country. So they're going to come out huge for Komern, and especially also the smart Asians who need the cheap labor for all their jobs down in China. They're all going to come out huge for Komern too. And so does Jeff. He's going to endorse Komern so he can win Orange County, since it's going to be difficult for him to win Orange County. And also obviously a mod license comes out huge for Komern, and he's also obviously going to win the Hispanic vote since he's an illegal immigrant. And then Trump obviously is going to win Alaska, and you know, Hawaii is obviously going to go for Komern again. The Asians need the cheap labor, and the illegal immigrants are there, so they're going to vote for Komern, obviously. And then Arizona, obviously, you know, demographic changes. You know, Vincent James warned us. Lalo probably endorsing Komern, you know, because he's a snake. He's not conservative. He's a neocon. He's going to get, you know, the neocons out for Komern so they can have the cheap labor, too. You know, Trump, you know, he's America first. You know, Lalo doesn't like America first. He's a neocon. So, of course, he's going to endorse Komern, do fiery rallies with him and John McCain in the dry heat. To make Arizona go blue, and obviously Utah goes blue. You know, the most of the neocons are in Utah. Thao and her army of simps. Also, you know, she's Asian too. She's Vietnamese. She needs the cheap labor, and obviously she's going to be endorsing Komern for the cheap labor. You know, he's an illegal immigrant, of course. The neocons hate Trump. You know, they hate Trump. They hate his populism. They want their taxes to be lowered even more by 99%. So they're going to vote for Komern. And obviously Nevada is going to go for Komern again. You know, DXDLT being a billionaire, you know, being his libertarian. You know, him being a libertarian. He wants open borders, obviously, because that's what libertarianism stands for. So he's going to vote for Komern for his cheap labor, for DXDLT's cheap labor for the casinos. So he's obviously going to be paying billions of dollars for the prostitutes for Komern's campaign, so he can win Nevada. And then obviously Oregon is obviously going to Komern. Like, it's Oregon, obviously. You know, Blue Voyager comes out huge for Komern, you know, because we need diversity. And you know, we need to be diverse, and we need to elect an illegal immigrant because it's reasonable. That's what Blue Voyager says. And then obviously Washington goes for Komern. You know, Posey's an illegal immigrant. Hey, you know, Korman's an illegal immigrant. Those things just play hand in hand. So they're going to endorse each other, and Korman's easily going to win Washington. And obviously these farm states, obviously the farmers, you know, they hate illegal immigrants. They love Trump for all they've done. You know, Korman's going to try to bring up the bullshit, you know, that Trump's done for the past 4 years, but you know, the farmers are still going to come home to Trump, and they're going to vote for Trump. They're going to be against the Green New Deal, which Trump's going to say is bad for you. It's only good for, you know, those Asians. So Trump does bad with Asians but good with farmers. And obviously Colorado goes for Komern. You know, they're huge Hispanics. You know, Trump obviously does bad in the suburbs, you know, because of weed's a big issue in Colorado, and Korman's going to be doing fiery weed rallies with George Floyd in Colorado, which is going to make that state go easily for Komern. And then New Mexico, you know, it's obviously going to go to Komern. You know, the highest Hispanic population ever in New Mexico, it's easily going to Komern. Demographic changes, Vincent James warned us. And then Texas, I think it's going to go for Komern. You know, even though I'm going to endorse Trump, I'm going to be doing fiery rallies for Trump. I don't think it's going to be enough, because, you know, all the illegal immigrants are going to come out huge for Komern. You know, Michael Bloomberg and all these Democrats, you know, Beto and Michael Bloomberg are going to be spending billions of dollars in Texas to get the illegal immigrants out to vote, because they're mad at Trump, because he's building the wall, because they're mad at Trump. So, you know, they're going to import more illegal immigrants from California to Texas to make it go blue for the first time in forever. So Korman's going to win Texas. And sadly, all their guns are going to be taken away because Texas went blue. So say bye to your guns, everyone from Texas. And then the rest of the South, you know, it's obviously going to Trump, you know, because Republicans are racist, they're bullshit, they're unreasonable. So obviously Trump's winning the South. And obviously he's winning Georgia because Allen's a Trump supporter, and he's going to come out huge for Trump to keep the suburbs red in Georgia for Trump. And then Florida, it's easily going to Trump because, you know, the Cubans, they're much smarter than the Asians. You know, the Asians might have escaped their communist country in Vietnam, but guess what? The Cubans escaped their communist Cuban country in Cuba. And they're way smarter, since they're going to vote Republican because it's reasonable. You know, Cubans vote Republican, so they're obviously going to come out huge for Trump, and it's obviously Trump's home state. So he's going to be doing fiery rallies there with Sex Laptop and Xenox. And Jared Kushner is going to be there too. So obviously Florida's going to go for Trump. It's his home state, so it's going to go for him. And then North Carolina, you might think, Backstar is going to get huge black turnout, because we need to be diverse, but Tom Tillis and Farwell are going to be doing a good job at suppressing the black vote in North Carolina to help Trump so he can win the state. Backstar is like, oh, North Carolina, oh, it's a swing state. To that I say, no, it's obviously safe, Red, because with Tom Tillis and Farwell, we're suppressing the black vote. The Mountain Republicans might be mad at Trump, but, Trump's still going to win North Carolina. And then, obviously, D.C. is going to go blue, the safest blue for Komern. And, obviously, Virginia is going to go for Komern, obviously. It's safe blue. Northern Virginia comes out huge for Komern. They need the cheap labor in Northern Virginia, the Asians there. So he's obviously going to win the Virginia. The establishment hates Trump, obviously. They impeached him, and they're going to do it again. And then Maryland, obviously, is going to go for Komern. LTE is reasonable. We need to be diverse. It's reasonable. So, obviously, Maryland's going to go for Komern. Obviously, Komern uses TikTok, so it's reasonable. And then Delaware, Delaware is obviously going to go for Komern. Obviously, Kevin, he's lost all hope in Trump. He doesn't like Trump anymore. Kevin be riding with Biden, so he's going to be riding with Komern, and he's going to vote for an illegal immigrant because, Kevin doesn't have any hope for America anymore. He's like, America's done now. We're fucked. So Kevin's going to endorse Komern, do fire naked rallies with Finnegan in Delaware, make that state go blue. And then New Jersey easily goes for Komern, obviously. West Virginia goes for Trump. It's safe for Trump, obviously. Fletcher and BTD, Fletcher, says, Trump needs to be more moderate. So Fletcher's still going to endorse Trump because Trump's going to force her to endorse him. So Fletcher and BTD are going to be doing fire naked rallies in West Virginia, getting the coal simp workers out for Trump. And then, obviously, Indiana goes for Trump. Even though Pete Buttigieg is going to make it close to get the gay vote out for Komern. And then Ohio easily goes for Trump. Nina Turner endorses Komern, but Dylan Wiley does his best to suppress the black vote, doing fiery racist rallies in Ohio to make that state go red. And then Illinois easily goes for Komern, obviously. Nathan is going to get his orangutan army out to vote. Huge for Trump, but it's not going to be enough, because Komern's an illegal immigrant. So he's going to be getting huge black turnout out in Illinois. There's going to be huge black turnout for Komern, which is going to make the state go blue. And then Iowa obviously goes for Trump. The farmers are obviously mad with Trump, so they're obviously going to go for Trump. And then Minnesota, you might think it's going to go for Komern, because George Floyd, he died there. And, Elon Musk's fiery high rallies with George Floyd, and Minneapolis comes out huge for Komern, but that's not true, because Trump's going to do his best job to suppress any minority votes in Minneapolis and get huge white turnout in the rest of rural Minnesota to make that state go red for the first time in forever. And then Wisconsin is also going to go red. Schenck wasn't allowed in the DNC, so that means the DNC wasn't fiery enough for Komern to win Wisconsin, so it's easily going to go for Trump. Since Schenck wasn't there in the DNC, so it wasn't fiery enough. And then Michigan, it's gonna go for Trump, because Red Eagle, and Nick Fuentes, and Sex Laptop, and Kathy Zhu are gonna be doing fiery rallies in Michigan, talking about jobs. Patriots gonna be there talking about egg jobs, how they'll be sent to China, and that they're gonna use illegal immigrants as they're gonna replace you with illegal immigrants. And that's bad. So Michigan's easily going to come out for Trump, vote huge for Trump against Komern, because he's racist, he's bullshit. Because Michigan's racist now, it's a racist state now. And then Pennsylvania, it's easily going to go for Trump. Mike's going to try to say Komern's moderate, he's a legal immigrant, we need diversity since Mike was born in Russia. But no, Pennsylvania still goes for Trump, and he's going to do very well in Western Pennsylvania. And then Connecticut goes for Komern. New York obviously goes for Komern. It's New York. Kevin and Finnegan's fiery naked rallies, and with AOC having threesomes with Fish is going to be there talking about the FMS jobs, how they need illegal immigrants. They need to replace their dumb workers with illegal immigrants, so you're going to be paid less. Free labor, free cheap labor in New York. Obviously going for Komern. And Rhode Island, Massachusetts easily goes for Komern, because Matt Gagnon, he's also going to want to cheap labor. He's not going to give the Gagnon UBI to Trump. He's going to give the Gagnon UBI to Komern, because he needs the cheap labor for his fat army who need all the Big Macs to survive every day. So he's going to, endorse Komern, do fiery rallies with his fat army in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, which is going to come out, which is going to vote for Komern. And then the rest of these states are going to vote for Trump. you know, because they're white, obviously they're going to vote for Trump. So Trump's narrowly going to beat Komern with 271 electoral votes to Komern's 267. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please leave video requests in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Komern Gaming out.